My friend went and saw, I don't know what it was, Lone Survivor. It's one of the movies he's putting on his list of movies that people really ought to see. He said this on Facebook, and I was looking at this list of movies that he had that he feels strongly that people should watch. And most of the movies were pretty good, but he had Contagion on there. Seriously, dude? Contagion? Like, you saw this movie and still think that it's worth watching. I remember when this movie came out because I was so excited to watch it. It had this awesome cast. Kate Winslet, Matt Damon, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jude Law, Marion Cotillard. Is that how you say her name? I'm not sure. Anyway, it had all these great actors in it, and the premise of the movie was really cool too. Like, this outbreak of a deadly virus is killing all these people. Like, it sounded like a really exciting movie. And so I was stoked when I found out that this movie was going to happen. But dang it if it wasn't the biggest disappointment I've ever watched. And maybe part of it was because I had hyped it up in my mind so much that I just expected this awesome movie that it couldn't live up to. The big reason why I just didn't like this movie was because it had absolutely no climax. Okay, when you tell a story, it has to have 5 things. The introduction, rising action, the climax, falling action, and then resolution. This movie has an introduction where you meet all the characters. Why? It has rising action where, this virus is killing all these people. And then it skips the climax and goes right to the resolution. Hey, we found a cure. And then the movie ends. There was all this buildup throughout the movie, and I was waiting for something to go wrong because they start working on a cure, and then they just find it. That's it. That's not a good movie. You have to have that high point where the tension is the highest, or it's just a letdown. And that's what this was. Throughout this movie, it's like, okay, we're trying to find a cure for this virus. It's killing everyone. We gotta find a cure. Oh, hey, we found the cure. Oh, alright. Well, I guess we're done here. And the movie ended. And I'm just like, this isn't... What? That's it? I should have said... Okay, I'm spoiler alerting right now, because I may ruin the movie if you watch any more from this point on. This really bugged me. Okay... is her name Marion Cotillard? Am I saying that right? Let's just pretend that's her name. Marion Cotillard. Her character in the movie basically gets kidnapped by, she gets kidnapped. Seriously. She gets kidnapped. They were holding her hostage until they could all get the vaccine. So the company that's producing this vaccine, they get her out of there. And so they're waiting in the airport, and they say something like, oh, here's the real vaccine. So this group of Asians got the fake vaccine. When she finds out that they get the fake one, she doesn't take her real vaccine. Like, she's in the airport, and they have the real vaccine for her, and she just gets up and walks out. And I don't know where she went. You never find out where she goes or what happens to her, because the movie ends shortly after that. That was annoying. It's like, hey... part of the resolution is tying up loose knots and letting us know what happened. We never did find out. There wasn't even a time constraint. Like, it wasn't like they had to find the vaccine in such a time. Basically, the entire movie was like a glorified public service announcement from the CDC saying, if there's a dangerous outbreak, this is probably what will happen. And that was essentially what the movie was. A glorified PDS, Public Service, PSA. If I look at it from, I guess, a social perspective on what might happen if there's an outbreak, then okay, I guess that there's value to this movie to see, because I think it was fairly realistic. Okay, there is some value to it, I suppose. As far as storytelling goes, though, it missed the mark. I'm sorry, you have to have a climax. That's... That sounded kind of funny. In a story, you have to have a climax, alright? And this movie didn't have it. So, okay, bye.